What's up champions, it's your boy Lime in Africa here. And tuko hapa na Dibebe kama kawaida. And tunataka kuichwako leo na the one and only Slow down.
Exactly.
Me inakwanga? Milosovic. Hey. I'll never get used to that name, but it's okay. Ni sawa. Babu.
Yeah.
Leo uko vipi?
I'm good.
Can I ask a lot?
I'm empowered.
You're empowered.
I'm empowered. Yeah.
Why so? How so? How so?
I'm empowered and let me say that I'm enlightened. Let me use the right word. I'm enlightened. And the things that I didn't know when I woke up, but from that period in waking up and moving to somewhere, meeting some good people, I think that I'm now enlightened. And this spirit of enlightenment, I don't want to have it alone. I want it to share it to the people.
Yes, yes.
That's why I think I'm...
Please do. Yeah. That's why you're here.
Yeah. So I believe the people are watching, and I want them to take good. They take their time, good time of theirs, to listen to this, because this is something that will help the people. So today in the morning when I woke up, I got a call yesterday night. This morning I was meeting the county commissioner with some good friends, fellow good friends from various sub-counties in this county. We have 8 sub-counties in this county. That is Rongo, Awendo, Uriri, Nyatike, Suna East, Suna West, Kuria East,
And Kuria West.
Those are 8. They were all represented. So while I was there, I got to learn some.
You say these are?
Yeah.
The ones we count, we are counting the sub-counties.
Yeah, those are sub-counties.
Which is the biggest? I hear West Korea is the biggest. I've seen East Korea.
It's Nyatike.
Nyatike?
Nyatike is the largest.
It's the largest, yeah.
Nyatike is the largest, followed by Uriri. Actually, they are supposed to be divided. There's a part of Nyatike that should be merged with the part of Uriri, so they make another sub-county. But actually, they are too large. And
Nyatike is from what to what?
Nyatike is in Nyatike, Marioo is in Nyatike, Kadem itself is in Nyatike.
Hiyo ni kubwa, hiyo ni kubwa. Ukisema Sori Miuru na Kadem bado iko Nyatike, then it's big. But it's a dry place.
Yeah,
super south.
Yeah.
And kwa najua mtu wa Suba pia lazima aingize Suba for mix.
Yeah, Migori is blended. We have Subanese in Migori and we have Luos in Migori.
You don't even know Suba anymore.
Yeah. Actually, Suba it's called
Subanese. Suba anymore. I'm sorry, man. Yani wewe ni mtu tribe yenu tulikumeza, tuliwameza. Tuliwaoa hadi mkaamua. Okay.
And I like
tuliwaoa.
No.
We talk about it is mother tongue.
Yeah, I think
our mothers came with this language.
Exactly. You know, the Lua Basoba, I'll tell you, one of these days we'll have an history. We'll talk about the Lua Basoba. Once back then, the Basobas and the Luas, the ones fought. And just to be honest, the Subanese people
Don't do that. Subanese people did what? Bro, but we had to learn that one here.
Actually, the Subanese people were great warriors, by the way. And they fought and they won. Yeah, and that, after winning, we decided, our elders back then decided that no, these people, let us make an engagement with these people. Yeah, so we sent our ladies there and we did intermarry. That is how
but we were like, sisi ndo like we came and overtook the whole tribe, because if what you're saying is right, then sahi hakuna na low tungana Suba.
We could be having Suba, but
how come Suba?
I want to tell you something. At the strength of a community, or the strength of a nation doesn't lie on its population or weapons they have. It lies on its unity and its leadership. I think the leadership of Sudanese was very organized. That's why Israel is a small nation, but it beats big nations.
Because it has the US, bro.
That is what we call leadership. You know very well, I'm a small nation.
So
I have to know people who know people. But actually today while I was meeting the county commissioner, he spoke of something that as we are sitting here, I didn't know you people. But now you come here because I know someone who knows someone who knows you people. Yeah? And I only know a few of you people. That's why I made some call. But from those few, I've got this good number. And from you, I'm going to get to be known to the whole community. Because I can't be a leader, then I claim to be leading a community which doesn't know me.
And I don't know them.
And I don't know them. Yeah. Whenever I speak, I will not have that power. I will just speak then I will speak. A commissioner, what is he saying? I don't care. So that is what happened then. The Sudanese leadership, they knew people who knew people. And that's why
they beat us.
Yeah. So I want to say that the Migori County, it has all those sub-counties, which makes Migori. The Kuria, the Luos, the Sudanese, and that's why we came together so that we might discuss how are we going to live. How are we going to live? And subjects we spoke about how we can empower youth. With something that we've been discussing back then. It has been there. But again, we were discussing it in a different way. Because I told you we had different people there. And when the commissioner said that, okay, now we want to empower these people. And there are these people who always go to the streets, this such people. They are always drunkard, by the way. And they barricade the ways and this and that. Then one of their leaders said, Mr. Commissioner, let me tell you the truth. These people, they don't have IDs. Even if you want to give them job today, they will not be employed because they don't have IDs. That's why they are misbehaving around here, because they know very well that they can't get job. They are being used by politicians because they can't get job. The only money they can get is the one, I say, in Duo, they say, the small tokens, 500, 200, 50 bob. Yeah, the handouts. That is the only money they can get. And that's why they do the demonstration with their utmost energy. Yeah? Because they know that is where they can eat something. Yeah? And discussing these issues, things came up, many of them. And actually we had a representative of Labour. The national representative of Labour was there with us. Do you know there's a Labour office, national Labour office in Migori? You know that? Actually, we were also shocked. We were also shocked. No one in there who is a youth. Only the commissioner himself knew that. We were also shocked. And that Labour office has got employment opportunities abroad and within the nation. In which, last week, as I was speaking, 6 people from this county went to Qatar through that initiative. Did you know that? And from that point, as it was said...
Are they real people? They are just...
no, it is true.
Or they are...
No, it is true. That is something that is real.
Did it prove?
Yeah.
Did it prove because politicians can say to
no, it was not a politician, it was a representative.
I'm a representative.
Okay, let me tell you.
Where is the...
Okay,
where's the
blueprint?
blueprint?
There was a picture, yeah. It was shown. and we were given the contract, and we now know the office. Majority of us don't know the office.
I didn't know myself, but it's quite a joke in existence.
I'll get to share that contact.
So when is the chance getting back? I want to
okay,
I want to go to Qatar, man.
You just go and inquire.
I go and inquire.
Because for now she said there are 1,200 opportunities for Kenyans.
1,200 opportunities for Kenyans.
To go.
Ali fixed to a sita. That means
No, that is
11.
in Migori County.
Oh.
Yeah, that was in Migori County. The whole nation.
In 1,200.
1,200.
So per county.
God damn. Okay, per county, to like 40 counties, so divide that by 20 by 1,200 Manisha.
It can't come out. It can't reach.
It can't reach 30 per county.
Yeah,
Nandy amepeleka 6.
Yeah.
So
that is last week. I'm not speaking of the number that has already gone. One thing I realized as she was speaking is that the thing that this government is lacking is communication. Communication is something that, okay, a lot of people working in these offices are conservative to information. Because I get you information that we have opportunities for this number.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
They are intentionally keeping the information. They're not conservatives. They intentionally.
That is what I'm saying.
Ati kuna
conservatives themselves.
Kuna chances za tutati kwenda majuu. Alafu nimeambiwa. Nitawaambia get ahead of yourself, man. I won't tell you.
That is the issue.
Nitachukua mtoto wangu na mtoto wangu kwanza na kwangu fulani na nani.
Yeah. So they don't get to consult people to ask them which people do you think are qualified for these jobs. Yeah. Who is vulnerable to the community that if we do this we can help this one. Yeah. That is what we are, because if people are going and we don't know, actually don't know. We just see other people went.
And which criteria did they use to?
Actually the criteria is very simple. You go to the offices, you apply, then they have your credentials, and then they see.
So how often now educators?
So it's based on what they'll see.
Yeah.
Like tutaona. There's no like there's no like punchline of like you must have a guarantee of this and this and this. You must have attained this and this.
They are unskilled and skilled jobs. I think with that, I don't have full information. I might lie here. I might say something that is not there.
Yes.
So I'll urge people to go visit this office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is it located now? That
actually, I didn't get that information, but I have the contact. I share with you. You call and ask where the office is, and from that, I think we can get to share that with you.
Yeah, that will be helpful.
At least it can be of help to other people, because majority of us are unemployed, but this opportunity might be of help to someone. Yeah. So that is one of the things that I got, that a majority of the people, just as we have said, are intentionally conserving information from the people, so that their own can benefit. Yeah.
Ili wakisha
So
exhaust hizo opportunities ndio wameona yenyewe. Hata ule mtoto wangu pia nilipeleka na alimes na tena nikamrudisha tena akames na tena ndio okay, sawa nimejaribu. Kuna opportunities man, after my exhaust like really that is what
that is when they come back and tell you there are these opportunities. When they want to there are these opportunities.
Yes.
And that I think it's something that is now changing, because apart from us as the youths going to the street and protesting and not having a way, I think it is time the youths we are coming back to our senses. Yeah, because we can't just make noise back to the streets without knowing where we are going and where we are headed. At least we know where we started. We can go back. That one we can trace. But where are we headed?
But do you think there's something that the protests are doing? Comparing,
bearing some fruits,
comparing the past and
I want to say that comparing the past and the first protest that we had as youths,
which was
the 2024 finance.
The 2024 finance bill protest. I think it was genuinely driven by the youths. Although there were rumors that the deputy president back then had sponsored some youths.
I get that a lot,
but it was genuinely driven by the youths, and they hung out the nation. Because the people realize that if they don't speak to themselves, because we waited for someone. Actually, all along, our demonstrations have always been allied to Raila Odinga. We've always been waiting. Raila Odinga. Where is Raila Odinga?
Why is he not speaking?
Let us give him his credit, because this man was a man who could make the nation stand still.
He still
He
can.
will call a protest, then we have an holiday. Yeah, and that's why even today, even though people are claiming that he's a bad man, he's a betrayer or whatever, if Odinga stands there and says that tomorrow we are going to protest, I tell you, people will come out in large numbers. Yeah. The only problem with Odinga is that now Odinga has merged with the government that people feel that have failed them. But we've always known Odinga as someone that is fighting for our rights. He stood to fight for our rights. He has been defending our rights. He has been defending the constitution. But now comes, I don't want to speak with Odinga too much, because he's, besides being the leader, ring leader in this development that have been brought, like revolution or whatever, he's also a human being. And we also have our errors as human beings.
He's observing table manners.
Yeah, and he must observe. You know, at times
I love that phrase, man. I love that phrase. He's observing table manners. I love that.
Honestly, let us not speak much on him, because besides that, he's a human being.
So you say let's give credit where it's due.
Wednesday. Odinga tried with his fellows like Orengo. They fought so that we can reach here. You know, I was speaking to one of the only men once back, and he told me that, you know, back then, I think early 2000s, going down 1990s, the police could meet you anywhere and ask you, where are you going? Where are you going at this time? You know, a policeman just ask you, where are you going? A policeman could come to this place and say that, it depends. Where's the license for this place? I say, yeah, this is the license. No, I have the license of today, working today. Have you paid the tax of today? They say, no, I don't. I didn't do that. Then they take all of the things here and they take them to where they are based. And you couldn't speak. Those are things that Odinga fought for.
There is police brutality. Yeah. It's still there, but now in a different way.
But in a different way. Just like they say that modern slavery is still there. Yeah, but at least we are seeing the labors at the fruit of their labors. That is their business. You know, I would say that politics is also a business on its own. It's a business, and that's why Odinga have been there since 1990. I think Odinga started politics in 1990 or 1980. Yeah, he was arrested in 92. Yeah, 82, the coup.
To a 70s, I'm saying, because if 82 tayari he was, you know, was being arrested then.
Odinga was arrested in 82. He came into politics in the 80s. Orengo came earlier than him. Yeah, Orengo joined politics earlier than Odinga. Yeah. He joined politics in 1980. He was arrested for 8 years, 82 to 90. Yeah. You know, being arrested for 8 years, my friend. Do you know what that means? You know, today, while I was coming back, I saw the prisoners on a truck. The way they were looking at people, it tells you a lot of what they are going through inside there. It tells you a lot. So I was just imagining 8 years someone being in prison. It tells a lot. You know, you can say that maybe he played tricks or down, but what if you tried playing that trick? You just try so that you confirm if really Odinga was playing tricks, so that it survives for those 8 years. Like the South Africans nowadays, they are bringing a theory that the Nelson Mandela who was arrested is not the Nelson Mandela they knew. That was not Madeba. It was another person. Do you think that is possible? 24 years, that man was jailed. Then now they are building some rumors. Because they don't see things matching, because if this person was arrested,
well, he's still a young man.
Then he came out
an old man.
Then now this person says that the whites should stay with us we have no problem.
It's now compassionate.
Yeah, it's compassionate with the whites.
Loving, caring.
And we don't need to to justify all these theories.
Come to think of it, man, 24 years, 24 years in prison. Damn, that's a long time. That's a long time, man. Hiyo hata kuna nini mzee, hiyo unaweza change your opinion on everything. 24 years. You just start, licking their ass because they tell you to, because come on. Chile to niishie jamani, 24 years.
As a man, what do you think? Like for 20 years?
Me, I think it makes sense. If the South Africans are saying that, then it makes sense. Okay, najua. I've never really read story of Mandela, Nelson Mandela that much, but I see people. There's always the statue of the guy, and people are always like talking so formidable. Yeah, about the guy, and people just praising the guy. He's a hero and everything.
Okay.
And from history, I think so. But then
history is an ally for every human being. History is a good friend. The Africans, they call themselves the Africans.
Yes.
The whites who live in
South Africa.
They went to South Africa in the 80s. They came from Netherlands. They went to South Africa in the 80s. And these Africans, not just part of the Africans, are the ones who how do you call these colonizers?
The white settlers.
Yeah. Some of them are the ones who took that supremacy.
Yes.
To oppress the blacks. Yeah. And that's why South Africa got independence in here.
1990 something, 93, 97.
97, 94 up.
South Africa got independence in 1930 something.
How comes?
Oh yeah, and then there was another.
The first black president in 1992, I think.
No, there was two types of independence there. There was according to history. Yeah, there's a name of the independence that they got.
I think you can just
a country going through two independences tells you about a lot about a country. Yeah, these people are still complaining about white ownership.
Yeah.
Sahi Malema is really complaining about that because 75 of the properties are owned by whites.
I want to echo one thing that JFK said while in the JFK leadership. That period of his leadership is when a lot of African countries got independence. He said one thing.
The 1960s.
Yeah, we are giving you independence, but we don't expect that the tyranny that we are moving away be built again from you people. That is one thing he said, which makes a lot of sense. And that is something that is happening today. We removed the whites, but again we got another white. Yeah. Our white is black. We can't complain that the whites were bad, then we act the same. That's the same thing that brings me to the point as we are speaking to the commissioner. One thing I told those people down there, we can't complain that the government is bad, then we behave like the same government. When we protest, actually, the way we are protesting now, we are behaving like the same government. The government does not follow the constitution. Again, we are not following the constitution because when we want to do a protest, we need to provide a memo to the
government,
to the county commander, so that they be aware we are demonstrating for what, for this reason 1, 2, and 3. The moment we don't provide this memo, this means that we are not organized, and this demonstration is illegal. See, when this demonstration becomes illegal, meaning that this demonstration covers, it influences everyone, the Gen Zs, the millennials, the goons, the war, the thug, they are both there. If the policeman shoots someone, I think some policemen are also like less. That is something we want to agree. Because the other day a policeman shot someone, a child who was just at the table with the mother, they were sharing, I think it was lunch. Yeah.
Bunduki iliingia kutoka kwa mlango.
Yeah.
Aje.
I don't know. I just don't know how it happened.
Some stray bullet.
A young child died the other day.
Some stray. I remember this. Actually, this book by whatever. The one that really trended. The one that portrayed girls was.
Echoes of
War. Yeah, there's something about the a bullet. You know, like his father was, protesting, and then a stray bullet hit the father on the leg, and then the police said no.
Yeah.
The bullet was on his original way. It's a stray father who stood on the way of the bullet. The bullet was so stray. So maybe could have time bullet is just on its way.
Then you get into the way of the stray.
The stray guy just came.
But there's a difference in other because
even the mask guy pia unajua hizo ni kitu tumeona.
Yeah, the mask guy was shot.
Yeah.
He had nothing.
Yeah. Alikuwa busy. Protesters obviously wanataka masks. So he was just a smart businessman who was smart for the last time.
There's this rule: if you have gun and I don't have anything, there's nothing you can do. You have power. If I have a gun and you have a gun, you can talk rules. Yeah. If you have a knife and I have
a gun,
there's nothing you can talk about.
Yeah.
We can try to negotiate. But if I have a gun and you have nothing, I'm the powerful. You have nothing to say. I think that is what happened in this scenario because he had a mask. You know?
the mask did not protect him from the gun.
Actually,
from the bullet.
Someone might think that we are happy, but
no,
it's really hurting because that masked man could have been me because we are both hustlers. We don't have jobs.
Yes.
That could have been us. And it's painful. You know, one thing I also shared is that this say going around that the Luos are saying Makolo Wanjwa. I think they are doing the disservice to the Luos who are living the other side, who are staying with the other people down there, the other tribes, because the moment they say this is not our war,
our fight,
I think they are irritating the others and say, okay, these people, they don't want to join us in this. Let us fight them. They are not Kenyans. Actually, they are trying to promote something called tribalism. Because actually, even though we have died back then as Luos in protest, this is a different era. Yeah. If we choose not to protest this side of the land, then we should not speak. We should just choose to be silent totally. But actually, choosing to be silent is showing that we have no compassion. Because if a child who is very, very, how do you call it? Someone who is innocent is being shot while eating lunch. Hata jamaliza lunch, by the way, it's hurting, by the way. Imagine
umeacha food hapo katikati.
Your mom is there watching you die. And then now, some of us as Luos, we say that this is not us.
Because now we in government. Allegedly.
We are not going to be in the government for long. Not let me just say for long, but forever. And whatever we say today, we should consider the future.
Might be used against us again.
Kuna siku mlisema you're in government.
Actually, that is what is also happening now, because the Luos are saying the Kikuyus, they used to laugh at us when we demonstrate. Let's say that we are stupid, we are this. But now they are using the wrong people. Maybe the people who spoke that time are no longer there. This is a new era. This is a new era. So we need to speak in understanding that this government is a government that covers all of us. If something happens in Kikuyu, then the Luos should be ready, because we are under one umbrella called Kenya. And before we became Luos, I always say one thing: I became a human being. Before I became a Luo, I became a human being. You know, a child, whatever you teach it, because if suppose I was born in Kambani, I could have been a Kamba. That's the only language that I could have known.
Yes.
So before I became a Luo, I was a human being. That means that I should have compassion But the moment I speak, like, I don't have compassion, they detest a lot. I'm not a human being. That is not Luos. Well, let them just die. Let them just die. Because, you know, I think there's a story that I'll just bring as we go on of something that is happening now. I want to connect it to what is happening now. The people who stood up, they watched a place burning. But if I say that fire can't reach this side. That fire can't reach it. So we are not going to help them extinguish the fire. We just sit here. They used to attack us. So we are not going to help them this. Not knowing that the grass was already what?
Dry.
It was dry. The fire was coming this side. The waves were pushing the fire this side. Not long, the fire was taking the city. And that is something that we need to consider, because when you say this war is not ours, big schools in this country are in Central, and the majority of educated people are Luos, and the majority of those students in those schools are Luos. And that's why the Luo organizations in campuses are always organized and they have power, because they are the majority. And whenever we speak against those people, I think we are doing a very great disservice to those people. I think if it's a must, we must speak in line of tribalism. Then let us just keep quiet. Let's keep quiet. Silence is sometimes better.
But you see, we've been marginalized to tribalism, even by location, by just the area code alone, We had the previous guest, Michael, Travis. So we talked about that, and he said that the counties, yes, it's a good thing, it was a very good initiative by Raila, but kila kitu tu, there must be
advantage and disadvantage.
So one of the very big disadvantage of counties is that it marginalized us to the tribes, specifically the tribes. That's what our Wakuria, they want their county, they want their own county, so that they can be marginalized as a tribe. You see, before the counties we had provinces. Provinces, at least Nyanza province ilikuwa na Waluya, Wakisii and Wajaluo. So at least it could create some unity kidogo. You see, like a province at least maybe 3-4 tribes. But with the counties, we sure that this is our county and we are Luos, and now we don't really mess up with the other counties. Or they have their own rules, they have their own way, and
sisi wasumba tunataka yetu.
And it's a dying community as it is. I'm sorry.
This one is the same time last time.
You won't tell them no get kijolu squeeze. So, you see venye vitu zina happen. Yes, county imeleta development to the ground now. We have people who are really now balling because counties imetupea opportunities now. It's not every other money coming from the national government, because it didn't reach us hapa mashinani, because the national government is in Nairobi, bro, and the president will decide where the money goes to. But right now, ako accountable for giving every county, each and every governor, fulani, some portion of the money, so that they get the return.
Actually, to speak on tribalism, I think we are born in such an environment. An environment that praises tribalism.
But again, digitalization pia come na ina submerge pia everybody pia together pia. So hiyo pia inatusaidia ku fight tribalism.
This community, this how do you call it? This generation.
Yes.
This generation that got schooled.
Yeah.
We are a generation that got schooled. We got this so-called what? Free education. This Kibaki free education. And a lot of us, many of us went to school. We got school up.
Many of us, yeah.
Moi also tried it by taking milk to school, and a lot of students.
Okay, now people are going to school for milk.
They went to school for milk, and being in school, they realized that in school they can get something. They can get something to enable them reach their goals. while we were studying, I think we got some people who had already gone to school, who are capable. You know, back then not all people go to school. Majority of us are not learned, by the way. If you think people are learned, as millennials, they tell you a good number of millennials are not learned. Down there going baby boomers and whatever. They were not learned. But with us,
ama bazenga hata even if you don't go far, hata mama bazenga around hapa wendo unajua mtu wa class 2 kuna mabindi mtu class 7 education
education and empowerment, I think, is something that is of concern even today. Because it's so difficult. There are students who are dropping out nowadays. Yeah, that's the other day I saw a student, a pupil that is so very young, dropped out of school in standard 7. The boy dropped in standard 8, and they got married in this town.
Just the other day.
In this town.
Kwa serious.
Actually, in this town.
Kwa serious.
And they're married, they're living together. In this town.
In this town?
In this town.
A class 8 dropped out.
Yeah.
And married at class 7.
Yeah.
Class 7?
At class 7.
Class 7 and class 8.
Yeah, and class 8. And they got married.
Fell in love so much that fuck school.
Yeah.
Tuendelee na maisha. How do you get nani? That is good tea. That is good tea.
And I know the past team, by the way. They're many.
You know them like in person?
Yeah, I know them.
You connect us so that we come and.
So this is something that should be considered.
So did they say the reasons why they?
No, you just see it by yourself because
the financial constraints.
Yeah, there are things that I know the parents are too much committed in some other things because they are frustrated in life. Yeah, you know, if the parents cannot get what to eat at home, how will they get how to finance your education?
Oh yeah. So at your education
So how did they meet?
Parents might have have tested this.
How did they meet? Ngoja waulize tu. Wakifika
you get to do your own.
We will diligently.
Yeah.
We will.
Because you find that the parents have tried this CDF whatever, but
and they could not find a way through.
Yeah. So these are the things that affect the community, because one or two people are conservative to this. But let me tell you, when I was in high school, there's a friend of mine. Their father is very rich. Very rich. I'll tell you, very rich, close to being a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, I'll say. This boy had an opportunity. He had his name on the CDF or whatever fund, the students who are being funded by CDF. This how much is it being given? Like it's always 5,000 or 3,000.
Yeah, exactly.
His name was there. And this money is money that should go to the vulnerable, those who are not here.
Yeah. Nowadays I hear it's all about connections. It's all about who knows who in the offices, bro. Even hata wins to fly unaona squeeze when people find them. Wins to fly originally from Equity, it was just for the poor people of Danga. That is the only people that were given that opportunity. But right now, it's for the well connected. If your father or maybe your uncle, someone knows somebody in Equity who is in line with the, giving out the sponsorships.
I think that is what that is what has brought us here. I shared that with the commission. I said the team you see sitting here is a subject to a failed government. That is why they are sitting here. They could have been here. These people could have been employed somewhere. But because they see there's a failed government that needs to give them opportunities, but the government is silent on this. They are trying to find their own way, and this is their own way. They have seen opportunity. Yeah, in terms of what their people see. I told you of the Rothschild, then you brought the East. Now we got to our there's opportunity.
After opportunity,
so the group that was sitting with the county commission saw opportunity. Because actually we are disorganized as youths. We can't just go to demonstrate every day. Then we don't have leaders. Yeah.
Leaders will be abducted, bro. You don't know the rate to abduction in the side, bro.
Direction. Actually, being abducted is not an issue. Raila was arrested. And that's why we are here.
Big up,
8 years.
big up that.
Matiba was also there. Yeah, and he was arrested. Orengo was there.
Bro, achana na, there's a big difference between arrest and abduct. Abduct ni ile yenye ujapelekwa in a cell in a correct way or something. Abduction ni ile zenye
both of them actually they were being abducted. You be abducted, then you go being detained. In the detention, we are not sure if you'll come back alive because there's torture chamber. Yeah. So, in the torture, there are questions that are being asked. Yeah. If you are a snitch, you are a snitch. Yeah, and they leave the snitch, by the way. But if you open up, I think the snitch, they leave them. But those who don't open up, if they are conservative, to the information that they have about their people, they are being silenced. Yeah, and silenced forever. I mean, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go well, because even Kenyatta was arrested. Yeah, and Ajuma Nego.
He learned a thing or two, you know.
Yeah, and from there you come to learn that.
When I realized I was walikuwa arrested after kuwa to arrested after kuwa na kwa hiyo prison for some years, they came back to change the people.
Very changed.
Kuna some.
I want to say that one thing that we should understand: having leadership is not a problem. What type of leadership you want? Because now, as the Gen Zs are protesting, we are protesting against a poor government. And then the other side, we have an opposition which is also poor. They have been there in the government, and they have shown us what they can do. Yeah? I'll only speak. I'll just keep Maraga from that opposition, because Maraga has been a chief justice. I've never seen Maraga in politics. I've never seen him. Maybe he has his own ways. Now he reached there, but I've never seen him. But now he's one of the presidential candidates. I don't know if he'll be in the ballot, but
he's campaigning.
Yeah, he's campaigning. He's one of the president. But the other
he wants to be like, he really wants to be.
Yeah.
He said.
Yeah.
He said he wants to be president.
Yeah. Yeah, Maraga is campaigning for presidency. I don't know if he has launched it officially yet, but that is what is going around. Matiang'i, I don't speak much about Matiang'i. You all know what Matiang'i did. 27 baby bed and whatever, and we can't judge him by that. Maybe he did it because, by the way, we have to judge him because we judge you by what you have done, by the way. Kalonzo was one of the ministers in Moi's regime. And I remember there was a video that was aired out where Moi was being questioned on how on his tyranny on Kenyans. And Kalonzo was behind Moi and he was laughing. He was enjoying by that time. Then now there is a man that is coming to us. He tells us that he wants to be a president, and he tells us how this government is wrong, how this government is this and that.
I've learned that you can't judge a man by his past mistakes.
Yeah, that is true.
You can't just like ground Kalonzo based on a video, a clip, based on 30 minutes of his life.
Do you know who Martha Karua was in Kibaki's government in 2007?
She was powerful, I know.
Very powerful. The other people told Kibaki stayed on power. And you saw what happened. And now we are here. These are the people that are telling us now they are good. And they are taking advantage because we have no leadership.
But
if any case Ruto is ousted from presidency, who becomes the president?
You know,
the deputy president becomes the president. Do you think they are going to allow that? If Ruto is ousted today, I tell you, they start fighting Kindiki. And that is when you'll have this picture on what is happening now. They already have it because they have been leaders. They know what they want. And they know why they are telling the gens that they should not have a leader. these people will kill you. Because if any case the whole government is ousted today, you know they're the ones who are going to be there. In any case, Kenya bans today. The United Nations will come here and say who is best fit for this job, and they'll pick anyone. Actually, America have never built any country. Do you know that? And there the people will come here. America went to Libya. What happened to Libya? It's a destroyed nation. They went to Iraq. What happened to Iraq? It's a destroyed nation. How do you call this guy? It is France.
But you can't blame them for dealing.
France
they're opportunistic people, you know. France the opportunity and they grab it. They must maintain being superpower.
France went
threatened a lot, you know. China and attack, Russia and die. So these people they must use what they have.
They must use, but not destroying others. RFK once said something.
Yeah, that is.
That we can't build opportunities by killing other people's opportunity.
And that's what they are doing right now.
That is what America is doing. You know, like America wanted to remove Gaddafi because they were saying, or they thought, actually, if you read Gaddafi's history, you know, some people are just seeing it openly. Gaddafi used to be a dictator in a way. I'm not saying a dictator in a way, but he helped, how do you call that country? Libya. You know, Libya, they used to fuel vehicles free. Education free. I mean free, not this Kenyan free education. Free is free. You mean free?
Like Naingia Texas, na fuel naishia.
Free.
Kuna mtu kusayo nimebeba mali na Marioo ni kufuel free na kushia.
Yeah, education is free.
That means that economy was so strong.
The mining of fuel, by the way.
Libya's economy was good by then. And that man was by then he was the African
the AU chairman.
Yeah. And he had gold bars. It was with the idea that Africa should have its own currency. And that currency was going to be made from gold. Do you know how gold is powerful? You will know how gold is powerful. That currency could have been the number one currency in the world because it's gold, pure gold. And when they ousted Gaddafi and they killed him, they took all those gold. Why didn't they leave that gold in Libya? Even if the new government was coming, why couldn't they leave that gold? After destroying it, they took the valuables, and they went with, and they left them. Now organize yourself. We are not organizing you. You organize yourself. Today, Libya is a country that is. I don't. Can you check the currency of Libya? Libya to USD. I think it's still higher than Kenya because Gaddafi left it. I think it was higher than USD by then. Yeah. By 3 shillings. Yeah. So these countries will never help us. Actually, when we are fighting as Kenyans, expecting that these United Nations are going to come back, and then there's nothing they're going to come to do here. They're only going to destroy.
They look at the opportunities.
The opportunity. Yeah. Sudan is banning today. Do you know why Sudan is banning?
One currency is equal to 0.1. Wow, it's still very strong.
Yeah.
0.1 US dollars.
It's equal to?
1 Libya equals 0.1 US dollars. See, it means Libya is still stronger than dollar.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It was 1 US. Check one USD.
1 USD.
1 USD.
Yeah.
Like
1 USD
equals to what Libya currency. You know, Tajwa which is strong. I feel like US is still strong.
No.
With that statement, US has a stronger one.
1 USD too.
Just check.
1 USD too. Libya currency.
Yeah.
Aslay.
If you wanna watch.
Jaba.
One USD goes to 5 Libyan. Yeah.
Kumaanisha
it is still stronger than Kenya's by far.
By far, because $1 manzeni 138.
That is what Gaddafi did to Libya, but still they chose to take him out. But everyone ganged against Gaddafi then, even the Libyans themselves. If you try to build a country and you give opportunity for your citizens to be confused, I think you are doing a disservice to yourself again, because Gaddafi was giving opportunity to the West to destroy the citizens of Israel. Because when Gaddafi said that, there's this thing he said, I'm just forgetting. There's this thing he said, because Gaddafi voted for Obama's presidency. That is number one. He was one of the happiest people. Same with Osama. But at the end of the day, they died. Have you ever read the history of Osama? There's something.
But when Obama was campaigning, he said that when given a shot, given a chance with the Nandy, he will clear him. Was he? Do you think he was still happy when he got that power?
You want to say Osama bin Laden was watching for Obama's
president?
Obama's president.
Yeah.
And Obama ended up killing him.
Yeah.
How?
I think I'll get that story next time.
Yeah.
So that is what will happen to Kenya if in case we ban, because now we are fighting. The Gen Zs are being used now. Because our names are being used. But now look at where we are. There are goons fighting against the government. Yeah, because actually we came out. Honestly, we came out. We loved what we were doing. Yeah, because we were jobless. But now, how do you say it? What have they done to our protest? Yeah? Like wamenyakuwa. How do you call this? Ini mapambano ama ni maandamano? Kajong used to say mapambano, bado mapambano. And they have hijacked it. They have hijacked our protest.
It's now they are now using, they're not using us.
Because this is not the way we are. We are learned people. Now, this is not how we should be doing things. We know very well that there are a process in which we should be doing things. But now look the way we are. We are looking rowdy. We are destroying shops. Well, actually, when I say we are, I don't mean that us agency, but now our names are being used that we are doing this thing. But it's not us. It is them doing it. The government sponsored sponsored goons. The goons might with us. We didn't know them. Yeah? And now they are taking advantage of the streets. And because we are learned people, we went back home, relaxed and waited. And back home where we sat, some of us were being killed still. Yeah. And I think it is time the government sits down with the youths. Because the
leaderless,
Yeah.
You sit down.
The leader.
That is now,
that is where the problem is. But I think it is time the government sit down. I don't know how, but the government should sit down.
If you're saying that, you should know how.
Yeah. No, the government knows how.
Kila mtu akona transfer Nairobi, Ruto ako hapo nitwaje hii field whatever the common one. Jacaranda leo anataka kwa kiti akiwangoja. Anyone anaconnect bro.
If you don't speak, we are going to have an anarchy in this nation. And you don't know where anarchy takes nations.
I don't think it's anytime soon, honestly.
You don't think it's anytime soon? The other Saba demonstration. How many people died by then?
Ndio maana nasema, now that Raila is in the mix, in the government and everything, it's not like that strong, because the one person that has been fueling, protests and, he's been just the champion of the protests is Raila, and now he's in the government. Now people are trying to use the protest, this is ndogondogo to just
let us not ignore
unless the Gen Z.
Let us not ignore the fact that Raila has been controlling the majority.
That is true.
In this wing, and the coastal region and the northeastern, I think. But now there's a group of leaders who are controlling the central region. And when these issues are not sorted by the youths, by the government and the youth, then these people are going to misuse the use of the other land. These are the people sponsoring the so-called, how do you call them? The Mungikis. They have their own special people. They'll sponsor them to go and kill the youths, claiming that the youths were protesting. So they say they kill the youth, they kill each other. In Mount Kenya, as we speak now, if you speak against a name in Mount Kenya, some regions in Mount Kenya, then they'll come for you.
So how do we solve? We always have these problems, but we should talk about how we solve them, because
how we solve this issue, because the people doing these things,
the immediate ones,
the people doing these things are youths.
Yes,
they're youths. An old man does not have that energy to carry a machete when he kills someone. It is the youths.
Yes,
exactly.
So, because a learned person who is frustrated is worse than a learned person who is frustrated. Do you know that? Because he knows very well, I went to school, I'm educated, but I don't have a job. The only way to get this job, if I get any opportunity of any job, it doesn't matter whether I'm going to kill or I'm going to do it, I'll do it. I'll take that opportunity. A learned person who is frustrated, who is jobless, he has to get that money. So they are the ones being used. So the only solution is to sit these youths down. The government has a youth representative. That person, I believe, is so much intelligent. That's why he's in that position. If not, he has to be by now.
We were youth leader.
Youth leader, and there's no youth leader. They have not yet decided. They have no group.
Youth leader Migori. Like in Migori County,
Migori County,
youth leader.
Who is youth chairman Migori County is called Eriko.
Is this someone who's so popular? Do we know Eriko? Do we know, like us in our, do we know Eriko?
No, they don't know Eriko.
In Uriri, Migori, do you know Eriko?
Migori, they know Eriko because he's based in town. Yeah. So I think he needs to. That is one of the things that was told. He needs to bring his influence down to the sub counties. Yeah, so that his influence.
Was he voted? By who?
The youths.
The organizations of where? Because we don't know. I'm sure Eriko is not in Migori. In the CBD. Apart from that, Natike, they don't know him. Uriri, they don't know him. Awendo, they don't know him. Kuria is they don't know him. You see, so this person was not elected to be there. Let's just be honest. Frankly, he was not elected to be there.
Maybe he was
through some connections. Who knows who, where?
No. Oh, actually, speaking on that, I think we are speaking on a different person. Because there is someone who claims to be the youth leader of Migoya. In Luo they call him Ogai. Who is Ogai?
Ogai is like the elder leader. There's a
he calls
youth
himself Ogai of the youths. I think he's the brother to the first lady of the county. He comes from Morongo. It's called what's the name of this guy? Yeah, he's not. He gave himself power because he has power.
We didn't even vote him there. So that's why I'm trying to tell you that hizi shida zote zetu inatukumba. We tell to just look at the roots, where first do we have a problem with? We have a problem with the youth, because you're trying to say that we go and take our youth to go and represent us in the offices, right? And then these youth, the youth leaders, are people we not even elected. Let's start with the simple thing.
That is the advantage the government is taking.
Yes.
We have people we have not elected.
We have people who have chosen to be there.
Yeah. But now,
to be our ears and eyes.
But now, we have a program that is coming out. We have a different era that is coming up with an idea. an idea that we'll have the electives and representatives of the sub-counties. From sub-counties, let us go down. It starts from the ward. That is what actually I went there for.
Yeah.
It starts from the ward representatives. The ward representatives reports to the sub-county representatives. The sub-county representatives, they report to the county representative, which is an organized ward institute. Yeah. Whenever something happens that happens in a window, then it affects the county. Then the county boss will contact the county youth representative. The county youth representative will contact
the sub-county. Sub-county atakuwa na.
If the sub-county is not in the area of the incident, he will contact the ward rep. Yeah, and that will help us. Will help us create an environment which impresses the business society. You know, when the youths are not organized or are not united, the business society is doing business out of fear. Because I don't know what youth or which youth is not employed. What type of youth is he? What will happen if I leave my shop without a security? Yeah. Because let me tell you something Tupac said, that today if we are hungry, then we come to our door. This food is at the same. Can you please help us with food? We are hungry. They don't listen. They say, please help us with food. We are hungry. We don't listen. Do you know we want food? You see the tone is changing and the wording is changing. Do you know we want food? You don't say. Now we are getting in. They don't speak. We will break in and get food. That is anger driving us, not us. It is not conscious. That is now our anger. But if the youths are organized, if something happens, let's say our youth was killed in Watanel, the ward representative should know the people in Watanel. He'll call one or two people. That's why I think I was told you the person we have, the delegates who are there, we were different delegates. He knows people from Watanel, and he'll call them and say, hey, there's this incident that happened. I know from the group that I brought here, you are the people who can do this. Who did this and why? He'll call them down and sit them down. I say, okay, this one happened because of this and this, and we will know what happened, and we know how we can curb this. But if we are disorganized, we don't know each other. But the youth of our do they know each other?
They don't.
But because just now I just told you of a couple that is so young. How do you call it now? A primary couple. I'll say a primary couple.
It was surprising.
And you don't know them. But they're actually, I think they are very popular in this
town. They stay in town.
Yeah, they are very popular in this town. Yeah. It's a primary couple. You don't know them. But once we have an entity which is registered, we must register. We can't act funny. Yeah, we can't act funny because while we were fighting the white settlers then, the colonizers, there was unity. We learned history. The
common goal, you know. Yeah, right now,
Kabiron taxpayers and whatever, those young groups, young tax association, whatever, and the Mau they did their part, whatever, you know. And that is what brought us to independent. But now, if we just leave ourselves that we are tribeless, we are leaderless, okay, it is good to be tribeless, but let's just be honest. Can you communicate with the Kikuyu in Kikuyu? You can't. Still, you only communicating English and Kiswahili. It's good to be tribeless. Actually, it's good to be tribeless. But let me tell you, there are times.
But
let's say we are tribeless. Do you know there's someone in Watamata who does not know Kiswahili or English? Do you know that? Do you know there's someone in Nyeri who does not know Kiswahili or English? That is there. The only thing they know is the Kuku. So if we say we are tribeless, we are leaderless, it's okay. But let us think broader. Is this this narrative we are sending home, is it helping us? Is it helping the community? Because we are in this community to live. We are going to be old men in the near future. There are people who are born behind us, the Alpha, Generation Alpha. We have Generation Beta. These are going to be born in this 2025, starting going forward. Generation Beta. We are going to be old to that time. If Generation Beta and Generation Alpha realizes that what we did, the so-called being a leaderless thing, is going to bring them problems, they are going to fight us. Yeah, that is something that we should be considerate of, because we are not going to stay young for long. Yes, we are Gen Zs. We are going to move with that Gen Z of ours. Then we are the Gen Z generation. We are the millennial generation. We are going to move forward. There's a generation called Generation Alpha, Generation Beta, and they are going to read from our books, and that is our East. What we are making now. And if any case what we do now will cause anarchy in this country, I think we are not going to have a soft life the way we think we want. And that is what we are fighting. We are fighting to have a soft life in the future.
Exactly.
And if we don't organize ourselves, then we are going to fail. And we are also not going to have peace. We will die miserable people. So I think it is okay if the youths come together, they organize themselves.
That is the only solution.
Instead of being unwise and speaking of being leaderless, fatherless, I love this. And actually the politicians, these people are mindless. Yeah, because
they're also mindless.
Because we are basing ourselves on this less things. So why we only want less things? Actually, I think it is time they use the organization and have a structure and a body that can speak for themselves, for them. Because even the world, for it to be created, history tells us in the Bible that God the Father, God the Son, the Holy Spirit. They called themselves into a meeting and they said, let us make. Let us. It was let us. But now here we are saying that we are leaderless. Actually, we are not good. Actually, there we have failed. Saying we are tribeless, we are leaderless, we have failed.
But I think the solution is what you've talked about.
Yeah.
I think we can always discuss about the youth. We can always discuss about what's affecting us.
Yeah.
We can always discuss about the political affairs. But without the solution, then we will always be complaining about the things that are going on in our lives.
That is true.
Without having the know-how of how to even change the situations. And I think the only solution is to know, just to be aware of ourselves first, and then have a leader who can who is trusted and who can, like we said last time, the more we talk about this thing, the more we make people aware, and the more you're aware, the more you'll be interested to know, who is my leader, or if he's not there, then how do I even become a leader, or how do I get to even be selected, or be voted, or be something, So I feel like right now we had to start from somewhere. Like we started a good thing, and it's not being used by the government, unfortunately. But I feel like solution to now say after creating the awareness. I feel like this generation, as Gen Zs, we were here to just make them aware that we can do it.
Exactly.
And yes. Maybe a miracle is happen to organize and to form leader, but if it doesn't happen, then another generation will come and now they will have their leaders and they will come and just represent. And I will have to just back down because they need to shinda.
Exactly.
But if we don't want that as Gen Zs, then it's high time that we just organize ourselves vizuri na tuache kufight Gen Z. Now that Gen Zs when you rise up na wakasema mimi ni morara, mimi ni huyu na ninataka ni. But then tunaangalia tuko like no, you can't represent us. Uko na hii na hii. That's why I always say that you can't judge someone the way you're saying Kalonzo, the way you're talking about Zuchu, you're talking about Matakarua. You can't judge someone by 30 minutes or maybe the past mistakes. People change, bro. Mtu anaweza kwambia leo but people
get baptized.
Vibaya sana. Okay, the people they never change, but people can be better versions of themselves. If they say that they were thieves, they can be better thieves now. If they are not saved, they can maybe be saved right now. So mimi na feel ni kama solution yetu ni awareness, and then get leaders, youth leaders, like even if they're not youth, but they are representatives who we truly trust in.
Exactly, and they should be honest to the people.
Kabisa.
Honest with the people. Actually,
Your honesty in our work, because without it, there's no trust that will be built.
And transparency is something of utmost consideration.
Yes.
When it comes to leading the youths, because if there is no transparency, I think there is nowhere we are going.
What just to wind it up by just saying what exactly did what can you say about your meeting today? What was the key thing, the most fundamental thing that you need to share with these people? The thing you just told us about, the new office that we didn't know about, by the way, the opportunity that we didn't know about. And how about you tell us about some something fundamental from the was the
labor, national labor. Before I speak of that, I'll say that a country's strength is not determined by how powerful it is or what amount of weapons it has. A country's strength is determined by the unity of its people and how organized the youths of the society are. Because if we kill the youth today, then we are not considerate of tomorrow. Because they are tomorrow. Japan today wants people to give birth. They are fighting population. Population what? Decrease. They don't have population. The population is falling. South Korea was the other day fighting the same issue on population, and someone was making fun of it. If you go to South Korea, you find very beautiful ladies, and I don't want to use the F word. You'll have a good time. But
you'll have a good time.
Here comes Kenya, where the government is fighting the youths, and I think the youths are also forcing the government to fight them. And we claim to be learned. That is true. We don't claim actually we are learned. We need to understand how things should be done amicably. The government has already outsmarted us, and we claim to be learned. There's something we need to do. That is one. Thank you very much. Speaking of the information I've got from the national labor representative of the county.
Yes.
I've realized that there are a lot of jobs. And these jobs are not there for specific people, for only specific people. They are there for all of us, the youths. The jobs are not for a certain county chief officer or a certain county minister. The jobs are for the whole community of this county. The other day, the national labor ministry was taking people abroad. You see, everyone went to Nairobi, by the way. Everyone went to Nairobi. Even the people from Uganda, they went to register in Nairobi. Application, they went to apply in Nairobi. And that's why you saw that big number. They left this place. Why? There was no communication. No one communicated that this program is in the county. If that information was given to someone, then what you say?
They chose to silence.
They chose to silence.
They just choose silence
and to have it on their own.
Yes.
That is something that affects the system. Because the jobs are abroad and within the nation. As we speak now, there are internship that was applied by the team that I'm telling you for the youths that are within that group, the WhatsApp, and they are coming for those internships. And I think one of the fruits of that group, that the society, the youthful society that have now joined us, and now they are championing for for the youths. Yeah, representing the county youths. I think they are doing a good job, which shouldn't be taken literally. And yesterday I met some youths. There's this group of Awendo youths. Is he one of the members?
Yeah.
Are you there? Yeah. I met some of the members. I just told you here. I come from different ghettos and I spoke to them about this issue of coming together, joining hands and having a registered group. Today I was with Betty Amondi. Betty Amondi is the county registrar on social and cooperatives. Yeah. A good woman, by the way, a loving, caring woman. Yeah, she's a good mother. She comes from Seven, by the way, she said. She tells me that if the youths come together and they organize something that is registered, and she knows it, because registering a society is very cheap. If you've done it, very cheap. They will have these opportunities from this government, whatever. These are government funds. Because I realized that GAF, do you know GAF? This one, it is left for the women rep. What does the women rep do with the GAF? Supply, how do you call it? The parts. Supply parts, then they leave it, that is GAF. GAF is a broad thing. GAF entails a lot of things. For the youths, in that GAF, there's the Department for Youths. We should be empowered by some tokens, some good money. So the youths should be organized, come together, let us get a society, a CBO, yeah, community-based organization. From that organization, let us decide what do we want as youths. What do we want? Instead of this having these tokens, then we contribute, we divide it amongst us. We take this 500. I was talking to John up there and he said that 500, that is only credit. It won't help me. And that's 500 you're having today. You wait for some 3 months. Another politician comes with another money. But instead of doing this, can we have some business, which like the poultry, whatever, poultry farming, a good business, poultry farm. And then in the NGCDF fund, I took my time, I read on it. I realized that there are youths, whatever, how do you call it? This tender. Yeah, NGCDF, you have youth tender. Take one of the tenders there. As the youth, we have this poultry farm. We now have this tender. We can supply you with this. From that, we will get some good money. From the poultry farming, we can employ people. We don't just leave it at poultry farming. We start another project again. Let us employ people there. With time, and let us have a good constitution that will govern us. Any person who breaks the constitution faces the consequences, because this is now a registered institution. And let us help each other. And I think we will be a happy community. China is doing well because I think they have tried all these things I'm saying. How do you call it? Singapore is doing well, and someone might think that everyone in Singapore is rich. Everyone is a billionaire in Singapore because they are organized. Dubai is doing it. Why not us? We can do it. This small community, we can do it. There's nothing that hinders us from doing it.
Yes.
It's time we organize ourselves. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
Right.
Thank you so much for
give us the question. Give them the questions.
Just coming here to share with us that bountiful amount of wealth. You see, that was wealth you just poured to us. Now, as a community, the Migori community.
But we were planning on whatever. As Awendo youths, we were planning on registering CBS. You can be registered, but I'll confirm. I've been offline, you know. But I'm planning to share my SIM. I'll confirm.
Okay.
I was very active in the group, but it
should be there.
Yeah.
Nice. That was, as I was saying, that was such a huge amount of wealth, and you've had for yourselves. Kuna majobs maju, and you need to. But one problem I have with these institutions, they talk so well. kuna hii word inanipotelelea, but they talk beautiful things mkiwa pamoja. But sasa when you walk one by one ama ukienda pale individually, they treat you so bad.
Exactly.
But when they come to address a forum, they are like, oh, you are the people, the opportunities everywhere, you are the people.
Hapo unajua waweza haribu wako campaign. Wako campaign hiyo time.
I really don't like
that.
That is true.
Yeah, so the county administration
before the job county youth man, just get a job.
And that's to add on that, that's why we need unity.
Yeah.
When we speak, we have that power. They know that, oh, if I do this person, that
wanajua vizuri, and then mtu asiende pale peke yake. Tune na mbogi.
Let us converge and say that now we are taking this and these people.
So and nice. So there's this question that was left to you by our good friend Travis. He's also another politician. So he said that do you know we can live the future without the past?
We can live the future.
Like me right now, I'm living in my future. Kenas knows that. Africa also knows that I'm living in my future right now.
I tend to disagree softly because
softly.
At point is making some sense, but it is very impossible
to live here.
Because let me just say you are driving a vehicle. The time you go to speed. Then in the process you realize that you got there's something you left behind. You have to slow down. Reflect. What is this thing? Or you realize that there's something that is wrong with your vehicle. You have to slow down to check on what this thing is. And if there's slowing down, you'll have to make how do you call it? Taswira in Kiswahili.
Taswira in your flashback.
Flashback. This thing happens because of this, and that is history. That is one thing. We can't live without history. That is one thing that I want to echo from Solomon. The wisest man never lived. And the Bible, Solomon echoes in Ecclesiastes and also the verse. He said that there is nothing under the sun that will be that has never been. As a student of Machiavelli says that take these principles, for they will live. For they will live to, how do you call it? Infinity. That is what Machiavelli says. Because and realizing that and reading that, I'm confirming that because whatever Machiavelli speaks on politics, there are things that still happens today. And the tricks that Machiavelli gives are the same tricks that are still being used by great politicians today. So I think you cannot outlive history. You must just live with history.
That is nice. So his next question was, is the past really important for the future?
The past.
He was more of a past future guy.
Is the past really important? The past?
Is the past really important for the future?
Oh, for the future. I tend to agree.
It is.
It is.
Because for the future to happen, there must be a past.
And what makes us to be here today is the present.
Yes, because of what happened in the past. My mother met my father. Things happened.
The past is so important.
Okay, bro. We're so grateful for your time, and we've shared a lot, and tutazidi kushare a lot because every time you come to the pod, unatupianga something that is something new, something from the county offices, and lazima tuwe like aware. Politically, lazima tuwe aware because politics controls the whole nation. And I just say, the president can wake up and say, there's a state of emergency because of this, and this, without people who can make us aware, without even knowing what's happening.
And actually, next time I go and check that issue. Because he has not reacted yet.
Check
on that issue. I'll go to the minister himself. Now we have a voice, and we must use that voice.
We must.
And now maybe we'll just have you as our political analyst here in Jaba podcast. We're okay to analyze here politics.
Venye kunaenda.
Kila wiki bana nakuja hapa na
at times I'll come with some politicians.
Yes, true.
Yeah, you get to know what they are saying and how we are going and where we are headed. Actually, there's a young man called. Do you know Jerry? Jerry son of Muga.
Yeah, I know Jerry. Yeah, I know Jerry.
Jerry is aspiring to be an MC. I don't know when it's
South
set. I don't know. It's a central sample.
Okay.
Obama is central sample, I think.
yes.
You bring Jerry so that we have a talk.
Yeah, because I'm more of an activist than a politician. With him is a politician. He come here and tells you his manifestos. I'm not aspiring in his time.
Right.
But hey, thank you. Thank you for creating time for us. And hey, champions, thank you for having time to watch and just be here with us from Asubuhi hadi sahi. This is a wrap, but we're coming up with the next interview from a very, very special guest. Just hold on for 10 minutes. Adios, muchachos.